shotguns, 1 pistol. Every single one of these is loaded.
In a state teeming with firearms,
they've got a gun, a stolen gun for that matter.
Troopers must take every precaution on a dicey standoff.
Open the door and slowly exit the vehicle.
When a bear breaks into a Girdwood home,
if they get used to getting into structures with people, usually the bears aren't the ones that come up on the losing side.
Trooper Miller must face down a vicious intruder who won't flee the scene.
And bear's still in garage, I believe. Yep, there he is. Give him some room, guys, give him some room.
And when a backcountry joyride takes a disastrous turn,
1 guy's got his leg pinned, 2 were unconscious.
Troopers must battle the rugged terrain in a race to save lives. This is Alaska State Troopers.
I got the back right.
Can't see the very back of that hatch up.
Good.
Corvette yellow, orange, and red details at the bottom, supposedly in that vehicle.
So far. Just saw that car.
Trooper Keenan Mulvaney just missed the car with a woman armed with a stolen gun.
35, 33. I'm going to turn around and maybe check some side roads. The car that's involved in this theft, that's a very specific car. It's like a 70s Camaro with an orange and yellow stripe. While we were sitting doing some paperwork a little while ago, the car that's involved in this theft actually turned in front of us. We didn't know it at the time. Now we got to go try to find it in the vast Fairbanks area here.
Fairbanks is the 2nd largest city in Alaska, so finding 1 car could be a wild goose chase.
Chief 1087 on conditions of release, and the second female is on probation.
4037, any unit to come into contact with the vehicle, failing to view all occupants.
The vehicle could be headed for a remote hideaway outside of town, or looking to lose authorities within the maze of city streets.
They're putting it out for all local law enforcement to be on the lookout for. It's called a BOLO. Be on the lookout, and hopefully somebody will see it and pull it over.
2033, what's your time?
I'm going to hang out and go toll for a little while and just cruise around these areas, see if I can just get a glimpse of the vehicle.
So let me know if you get any intel, and I'll start making my way towards whatever that area is.
Suddenly,
Fairbanks 820, he's parked facing store.
The city police have spotted it. They're waiting for more units to get there. There's definitely a chance he could run. They've got a gun, a stolen gun for that matter. We don't know if they've got other weapons. That's a lot of FPD. It's 33, I'm out with the units.
officers arrive in overwhelming force.
We don't know if they want to make this into a shootout or what. Behind you. We take precautions. We have our weapons out, ready to go if they do come out shooting.
Open the door and slowly exit the vehicle. Your hands up.
The driver gives up, but the two female passengers stay in the car.
Front seat passenger, open the door with your right hand and slowly exit the vehicle.
Get away from the car. Now.
Rear passenger, step out of the vehicle. Your hands up.
All three are now in custody.
33, we send out a photo.
But troopers still haven't found the stolen gun, and more people could be hiding in the car.
Can you see anybody else? I can't see anybody else unless they're lying down or something. Should have a 40 cal somewhere in there.
Fantastic. Give it a good challenge. The three of us need up there.
Yep, move.
That's bad. Now left.
Okay. I got the back right.
Okay, seems very back that hatch up.
It's clear.
Clear. Vehicle's clear.
Okay, vehicle's clear. It's definitely a higher risk scenario, but everybody gave up peacefully, which is a good thing for them.
If they find the stolen firearm, it could cost the suspected thief up to 5 years in prison and a $50,000 fine. And she just got out of jail 2 days ago.
We were trying to look for her for warrants for like 6 months. We could never find her. So I know she's pretty elusive.
So troopers take a run at the other passengers.
Did she make any mention of anything that she got while she was in the house? Do you know what she might have in her bags? Is there anything in that car that she shouldn't have or you shouldn't have?
Not that I know of, no. When we went from there, she got her purse.
You got your purse? Mm-hmm. So there's nothing in that vehicle that she would have taken out of the house?
I mean, I don't know.
Now's your time.
I honestly don't know.
Nobody's talking, so troopers let the pair go,
Come on, baby.
impound the car, and get a search warrant. Back at post, armed with their warrant, they begin their pursuit.
So if you want to search, I'll photo for you.
All right, first thing I'll take a look at is the bag right here. What bag is it? Springfield XD. Springfield XD.
So that's the stolen gun.
But that's not all they find.
There's needles and a spoon. I would say beyond doubt that they're IV drug users.
They charge the suspect with felony possession of a stolen firearm and second-degree felony theft. Case closed. Over 200 miles south in the Matsu Valley, troopers prepare for one of the year's busiest holidays, Memorial Day weekend. Perfect timing for a veteran's return to the streets.
I'm Michaelin Manrique, and I'm the sergeant of grave shift in B Detachment here in Palmer. Just came back to the road after 8 years working homicide, sexual assaults, major crimes. And let me tell you, I'm just getting my patrol legs back. My dad is a retired state trooper. There's lots of father-sons, but we're the only father-daughter combination, so I guess it kind of runs in the family.
Just a few hours into Sergeant Manrique's shift,
12 copy.
a serious accident sends her racing to a remote area a few miles outside of Palmer.
We're headed out to Jim Creek. There was an ATV accident. Female was unconscious, and the male had his leg pinned. There was a report that alcohol may be a factor. Medics are on their way.
Manrique reaches the area and takes her Crown Vic off paved roads in search of the accident.
The call was about a mile in, and I'm assuming that's from the bridge near the river.
Keep going! Keep going! Keep going! Keep going!
But Manrique can't get to the accident scene by car.
We're just gonna have to walk it, I think.
She spots the crash site. People's lives could be at stake. Sergeant Manrique must act fast.
I think we're just gonna cross. That's deep.
The temperature's close to freezing, and the water isn't much warmer. Safely across, Trooper Jim Stryker fills her in.
There's a Jeep that was trying to do a little hill climbing, and he rolled it. There's 4 occupants. One guy's got his leg pinned. 2 were unconscious, but they're in an area that's inaccessible with regular pickup trucks and ambulances.
Rescuers must rely on ATVs to get to the injured riders.
It's a mess down there.
Okay, here we go. Tell me where you're hurt.
It's not good. The front passenger's leg was pinned underneath the vehicle, and the troopers can't fully diagnose his injuries. They must consider the possibility of internal and back injuries, as well as head trauma.
I gotta cut off your sleeve. I can't get to your arm, okay?
If they don't get him immediate medical attention, he could die. They call in a medevac unit.
I want to get him packaged up here as quick as possible. They got enough fuel for one more patient.
While medics fight to save the man's life, troopers prep a landing zone.
Not sure how big of a runner arc he needs.
They are en route. They're just coming across the sound.
I'm guessing the one with the head injury is going to go first. Yeah.
Well, I know you can't wiggle your fingers. I need you to wiggle your fingers, okay?
As dawn approaches, so does help, but the pilot's having trouble negotiating a landing spot among the rough terrain.
It looks like they'll be landing not at our landing zone, but landing zone east.
He must land a mile away from the crash site, leaving medics to bring the patient to him via four-wheeler.
You guys ready? Slow and easy.
Transporting the man upriver could lead to further injuries, but they have no choice. The victim now faces a rough 20-minute ride to the hospital, leaving Sergeant Manrique behind to investigate what went wrong.
That's not eyeglasses.
her first potential clue.
This is what they call marijuana.
The driver walked away without any injury, but he'll still pay a price. It appears pot wasn't the only factor at play here.
Trooper Stryker conducted field sobriety tests and determined that he was intoxicated. Obviously, you take risks even when you're just out here for-buying, but the risk is even greater when you add alcohol or you add drugs to it. And something that he may not have done sober, unfortunately, ended with 3 of his friends going to the hospital.
Just south in Girdwood.
It's about 2040-1036. We're responding to a residence in Girdwood. Had a female caller report a bear in her garage. This time of year, the bears are out there foraging a lot. There's a lot of bears in this area. It's fairly common to get these calls in Girdwood.
Girdwood is surrounded by bear habitat, and if the bears can't find food in the forest, they can become brazen enough to hunt for fare in and around people's homes. And when they move in, Trooper Joseph Miller knows the results can be deadly.
There really are no assurances with animals. Wildlife are wild for a reason. If they get used to getting into structures with people, the problem with structures with people is they contain people. And usually the bears aren't the ones that come up on the losing side whenever they go into residence. That's a lot on it. 40 minus self and Trail 16. 23 on Timberline, you advise second left. Simple. Still up in there?
Yeah, he's in the garage right over there.
Okay. Still only 40. We're 23. And they're still in the garage, I believe. Yep, there he is. Give him some room, guys. Simple. Still up in there?
Yeah, he's in the garage right over there.
Okay.
In Girdwood, troopers are in an unpredictable face-off with an Alaskan bear.
Yep, there he is. Give him some room, guys. Give him some room. This is 11-140. Bear's out of the garage. He's in the yard now, but he's not leaving.
Go.
The uninvited guest won't back down.
You go around the neighbor's yard?
And when the bear threatens another residence,
there's the residence right there.
Troopers must take a more proactive approach. Trooper Hennessy will use a non-lethal explosive round to run the 100-pound animal off.
You got a decent shot over here if you want to pop him.
You know how it is, right?
That worked. Charlie 16 deployed a bear around, scared him off. He's out.
It's just a crack around. It's not, didn't hurt him. It's just an explosion. Scared him off.
Trooper Hennessy deployed a crack around. It's a bear around, and it's essentially just a loud noise that's utilized to scare large animals. It's not their fault. They're looking for food. They have to survive just like anything else. Anytime that you can avoid putting down an animal, that's a win-win for everybody.
Fortunately, this bear only needed a warning shot. But over 400 miles west, on the mighty Yukon, Mother Nature is bearing down on some boaters who've lost control of their vessel.
The father of one of the sons that's on board the boat said that they were at Goose Island before, and now they're starting to drift and head down the Yukon.
The powerless boat hasn't been seen since yesterday, and attempts to contact the passengers have gone unanswered.
Any description on the vessel?
The only description I got is an operator and 5 passengers, and they might be drinking, but he wasn't sure.
Let's throw some life jackets on and see if we can contact them.
Sounds good.
Bye.
The waterways here in remote western Alaska serve as main thoroughfares connecting the native villages. But they empty into the massive Yukon, the 3rd longest river in North America. If the helpless boaters hit those torrential currents and capsize, they won't stand a chance.
At this time of year, falling in the water is life-threatening. There's pretty significant current on the Yukon River, and if you can't get back into a boat and change into dry clothes, your chances of getting hypothermia even after coming out of the water are significant. Hey, Jim.
Trooper Nick Massey meets up with the village public safety officer to begin their search.
Jim, if you could grab this bow line here. Yeah. I'll back the boat in.
They spring into action with no time to spare.
Okay, I'm coming up. I'm most concerned about intoxicated males on boats without life jackets. So that's my biggest concern.
And it's the most deadly time of year to be adrift in the Yukon.
Now the water level is really high. All the spring meltwater is in the river, and the river is up approximately 8 feet from where it normally is. What that means is that there's a lot of debris in the water that would normally be up on the bank is now in the water. Potentially, if you're drifting down the river, you could get caught and you could overturn. It could be very dangerous.
8 miles downriver, something catches Trooper Massey's eye.
That's probably them right there.
Okay, we got a visual.
Looks like there are 6 individuals on board. Seven individuals on board, one in the bow.
Then,
It looked like they may have thrown something overboard on the far side.
a group of boaters is stranded on the Yukon River, and the annual spring snowmelt has it running dangerously high. Their only hope may be Trooper Nick Massey.
That's probably them right there. 7 individuals on board. It looked like they may have thrown something overboard on the far side.
How y'all doing? Want to throw me a line?
Hi guys, how's it going? Can I help you out with some gas?
Yes.
All right. Do you mind if I step in the boat? Thank you. Did you guys lose anything overboard? Okay.
Nothing.
Who's driving today? Me. You're driving? When's the last time you had a drink? When? How long earlier?
I don't think he drank.
When you had to sit. You had to sit. All of you? Is anybody sober here? You're sober? You're sober? When's the last time you had a drink?
2 days and a half ago.
A day and a half? How about you?
2 days ago.
2 days ago?
4 months ago.
4 months?
We've been drifting down the river, and we thought you guys were help coming up to save us, come to interrogate us.
Hold on. You need to let me talk. You need to let me talk, okay?
Will, yo.
So, I am concerned that several of you are intoxicated and there are no life jackets on board. That's a problem for me. What we're going to do is we're going to escort you back to St. Mary's, all right? Yep, I'm going to be right there with you.
Looks like the only issue here was being unprepared.
Watch that pump so that it doesn't leak. Okay, I'm backing off. I didn't observe anybody operating the boat. The boat was along the shore. The engine was off. It's very difficult to get a BUI here. My primary duties are to ensure that people remain safe. In this case, I think that education would be most effective and not a citation for a life jacket. All right, I need to visit with you guys, all as a group. I need everybody to listen. Before you leave again, make sure you have life jackets, enough fuel, and a sober driver. We have free life jackets that I will give you if you don't have any. Up at our trooper post, you can stop by and I will give them to you for free. Really? Okay, yes. I just want you guys to have them, all right? I want to make sure that in the future they have life jackets, that they're not operating while intoxicated, that someone is sober. That's the biggest thing that I want to address today.
From the watery passages of the West to the roadways of central Alaska, it's all hands on deck to stop the potentially armed home invasion.
911 with that babysitter reported that the driver and passenger of the vehicle left in the house with a 9mm, and 2 more individuals got out with shotguns. They all went into the residence.
There is some individuals with firearms inside of a residence. We don't know if they broke in to commit a burglary or robbery or what. Apparently there were 6 kids and a babysitter inside the house.
When troopers don't know what they're dealing with, every minute counts. But before Havens can get there,
The suspect vehicle left the residence already headed towards him, and we went in saying that it looked like it may have been a Chevy Yukon with a big steel pushing bumper on the front. Your plan is telling us it's 1 female and 3 males.
8128, that matches the vehicle that was called off direction.
The chase is on.
Come on, B25, I'll turn around. We're turning around. There was an SUV that might be the one up here, but we'll see. Come on, B25, 10.3, that's a big leg.
Got him. Troopers separate the suspects and start asking questions.
You come here. I'm gonna talk to you back here. Obviously, we got a call that from a house. Okay. That a couple of people broke into a house. That one match the vehicle that you're driving, and two match you to a T.
Okay.
As far as physical.
I was just helping a buddy move. He called me. He was like, "Hey, can you come help me move all the?"
Okay.
So
who's that buddy? The one that's is there one that's here?
No.
Okay, it's not here.
No.
Okay. It was inside this house, or does he live there, or what?
He was dating the girl that was there, he said.
Where were you planning on taking his stuff?
I was just going to go back to my house for the time being until he actually gave me a place to take it.
So what happened at the house that we're getting a call that there was people with firearms and all that kind of stuff?
Well, we had just gotten back from shooting, man. So you're just showing my buddy the guns.
Oh, you're bringing the guns inside the house?
Yeah, like...
Okay, to show.
Yeah.
The man has all the answers but one.
What's his last name?
I have no idea.
You come here.
Trooper Christopher Havens is trying to get to the bottom of a supposed armed burglary.
I was just helping a buddy move.
Okay. So who's that buddy? What's his last name?
I have no idea.
I mean, it doesn't really seem like you're that great of friends with him if you don't know his last name, right?
Obviously, it's kind of like a what the situation.
Okay. You mind if I take a look at this?
No, go ahead.
Havens looked through his phone to verify his story.
So why is texting you that we just passed two troopers on Hollywood with lights on?
Probably because he passed two troopers. I don't know. He's pretty random, man.
But if you're not doing anything wrong, then why does he have to text you that two troopers are coming down Hollywood with their lights on?
Look, man, I don't know. He wasn't with me.
The suspect's vehicle is full of expensive items.
3 shotguns, 1 pistol. Every single one of these is loaded too.
There's some nice stuff in there, man. There are beers and this big tusk. It looks like a mammoth tusk or something.
Ivory. That's expensive.
Troopers detain all the suspects as they sort fact from fiction.
There's a lot of stuff in there. Yeah. And I'd be willing to bet that the majority of it's probably stolen stuff too.
Yep.
So if she says it's hers and it's stolen and they're not supposed to have it, then it's game on.
All right, she's supposed to be here in about 10 minutes from now.
The homeowner finally arrives on scene.
According to him, they go into your house looking for you, saying that you have a debt to pay with them. I don't really care what that's about. It's neither here nor there. They go into the house, can't find you, so they take a whole bunch of stuff out of the house.
And my children.
And your children.
And they had guns.
What's going on? Do you know these people?
I don't. Can I see them?
This kid behind you sitting up in my patrol car there? Okay. Do you know anybody by the name of... Doesn't live in your house. It's not his stuff.
Yeah.
Both you two are going to be going to jail today for burglary and theft in the second degree, which are 2 felonies.
She wasn't involved.
Unfortunately, everybody was involved that was in the car with you. Because
so is everyone going to jail?
Yeah, everybody's going to jail. I don't doubt that there's a backstory going on here that people may not be telling us, but obviously we still have a crime that occurred and those items don't belong to them and they were in possession of those items. They're going to go to court and explain their story.
200 miles north, it's the heat of the summer in Fairbanks, when the sun can stay high in the sky for over 20 hours a day.
Fairbanks 36.
And Trooper Kamal Lay is on swing shift, trying to keep things cool.
You know, it's never a dull moment at Fairbanks. You know, it's been a nonstop day, so that's why I came up here. You're always seeing something new, learning new things, coming across new scenarios. So, you know, it's fun, especially with the summertime right now. We're going to have, 24 hours of sunlight here. People are out having a really good time.
Alaska's midnight sun means some people are having a little too much fun.
Just got a report that one of the gas stations here on the west side of Fairbanks, there's a report that there's 2 people in the car fornicating. So we're a couple minutes out. We're going to respond and see what's going on there. You know, it's not illegal, but I don't think anyone wants to see it.
Lay arrives to find Trooper Weary already in contact with the couple.
Is this your ID right here?
Yeah. Hey!
NCIC 36, 27, 29.
They like that.
Ma'am, you can't be doing all that stuff, okay?
Whatever.
This is not Panama spring break. This is Alaska.
I know. Babe, I need a cigarette.
Ma'am?
Mosquitoes are biting my legs everywhere. That's my boyfriend.
All right, ma'am?
That's my baby. She is my baby.
We're trying to have a good time. You guys are being...
What kind of good time can you have here at a closed gas station?
No.
Well, that's one
The good time is right here. It's all right here.
In your
I
pants?
would give it to you. I would give it to you. Evidence.
I don't need that evidence either. Sorry.
I love this woman.
Is this your taxi?
The couple doesn't have any outstanding warrants, so Trooper Lay lets them take their party elsewhere.
Fairbanks, Alaska. Fairbanks, Alaska. Midnight sun. Wow, that was interesting.
Back on the streets,
It's going to be off of road, a possible break-in.
10-4.
a robbery in progress since Trooper Lay speeding across town.
Someone's watching the residence for a neighbor. They got a report that the front doors were open. When the neighbor showed up, he noticed that the doors are open, so we definitely think that there's going to be someone in the house. It can turn very dangerous quick. We got a report of a possible break-in. We're going to approach here quiet. We're not running lights and sirens. We're not out to spook them and get them to run away. We're out to catch them in the act. So it can turn very dangerous quick. Fairbanks 36 units or 23.
Lay arrives to find the anxious homeowner waiting.
I got alarm system on the house, got an email saying somebody tampered with the garage doors. My neighbor over here, she drove through and said the garage doors were open. Okay. So somebody had to have opened them and gotten in the garage. Okay. How about the front door? Was that locked when you left the house? Well, I don't know. I don't think it was locked now. We'll clear the house and go from there.
The suspect could be armed, so troopers Lay and Matt Sitters approach cautiously.
Doors are open. They should not be open, so myself and 23 will be clearing the residence starting now. State trooper!
They don't want to risk searching an unknown residence, so they try bluffing the intruder out.
State troopers with a K-9! If you're in here, come out now! People are afraid of getting bit by a K-9 dog. They know how our training behind the dogs. I use it as a tactic, try to draw the person out before we have to put our lives in danger.
No luck, so they head in.
State troopers with a K-9! If you're in here, come out now! There's a lot of hiding spots. Show us your hands now!
Still no answer.
State troopers, if you're upstairs, come out now. State troopers. State troopers with a K-9. State troopers. State troopers with a K-9. We will bring the K-9 out, so show us your hands now. Let me get this last room. Fairbanks 36 residence is clear. Wow. This is strange, huh? So we went through, we don't see anyone, but the house seems to have a lot of stuff all over the place.
Trooper Lay brings the homeowner in to assess the damage.
My guns are here, so that's... All right, so it looks like we have good news then.
Nothing's missing, but outside...
Yep, somebody got in here for sure. That's probably a $1,000 tool.
The thief didn't stop there.
It was all nicely stacked in the boxes. Somebody ripped the boxes open. Okay. So let me get a quick photo real quick.
If troopers can catch the thief, they'll face felony first-degree burglary charges and a lengthy jail sentence.
All right, so I have your information. The house is clear. Hi, man. Hi. Good day. A lot of people living here in Alaska, they feel that they're far out. They're away from some of the things that are happening down in lower 48. But the fact of the matter is that stuff's still happening here in Alaska. There's houses being broken into. There's cars being broken into. And in this case, you know, people have alarms to tell them when a door is open. But if you don't have the door locked, then, you know, what good does it do? Fairbanks 36 residence is clear.
Across town, Trooper Keenan Mulvaney is on the hunt for a driver who's reportedly tearing up the roadways.
So we had a caller that was up on the Steez calling a motorhome and reported that he was swerving all over the roadway, knocking down cones because there's some construction going on out there, generally driving pretty poorly.
And according to the callers, he's been at it for hours.
A couple hours ago, we had a ready report, which is a report every dangerous driver immediately, about a motorhome going northbound on the Steves Highway with somewhat of the same plate, and he was driving pretty poorly.
Troopers didn't catch him then, but he won't get past them twice.
You guys are at the stoplight.
Another trooper has the RV in his sights.
Sounds like we got him on the return trip. It's a good thing something didn't happen between now and then. So we'll go back him up. 2033, is that what, 242?
Trooper Stewart's got the driver.
Takes to you. I know I'm under arrest. I get so old that I can't get out the car.
We're around the roadway, all right?
I get my flip-flop. Okay. You won't let me have my flip-flop.
In the traffic light. I don't want you to get hit by a car, okay? Yeah. All over, okay? I don't want you. Perfect. I just don't want you falling over, all right?
I will not fall over.
Okay.
Troopers in Fairbanks have a reportedly drunk driver on their hands, and he's driving an RV.
This is perfect. This is beautiful. They got nothing better to do. They don't want to pay the tax there. I've been paying taxes.
Let's go stand right over here, okay? Okay, all right? Okay. What I'd like to do, make sure it's
You go ahead and do what you got to do.
Okay. You're not going to do any tests, anything like that?
No.
He's affording you the opportunity to pass these tests.
No. Who are you?
Trooper Mulvaney.
Nope.
No?
No.
Okay. All right, put your hands behind your back right now. You're under arrest, okay?
Oh, I'm under arrest. Oh,
Calm down.
I'm not upset. Back in Nam, we used to get upset. Check this out.
Come on. I'm happy to see my vehicle, okay?
Your hat's too tight.
That's funny.
I'm old.
I got you.
You're a piece of
He's revoked. It's a felony DUI.
While Trooper Mulvaney calls for a tow truck, Trooper Stewart discovers the root of the driver's problem.
He had an open box of wine right there behind the seat. So.
Yeah. Looked like it was all over him, too.
He was drastically going over, so that means that was a good call.
He refused to do any standardized tests, and based on this other trooper's investigation and his observations and the ready report, he decided to arrest him for DUI. It's safe to say he's highly intoxicated and a very big danger to the public. And it sounds like it's a felony DUI, so he's been down this road before.
Out on the waters of southeast Alaska, Trooper Scott Bjork patrols a great Alaskan tradition, the annual King Salmon Derby.
That's awesome.
It's got a nice color.
Today we have a salmon derby going on. They have it every May in Wrangell, and the whole town gets involved trying to go out and get the biggest salmon. First prize is $6,000, so it's pretty competitive.
Congratulations.
Today, Sergeant Garcia joins Trooper Bjork to patrol the month-long competition.
We're going to contact some fishermen and check crabbing gear.
Who's our first customer?
We have a couple of boats up here. It looks like they're trawling for some salmon. We'll contact and see how good they're doing. All right, I'm going on the back deck. How's it going, guys? Good. Any luck? Awesome. I'm just going to quickly check licenses and get out of your way.
But before Bjork can board, he notices a nearby vessel taking off.
For whatever reason, they decided they don't want to be over here.
Troopers give chase across the choppy waters.
When they take off, when we come up, it raises a big suspicion, you know. They could be cutting a knife or hiding a fish or something of that sort of nature.
Finally, the boat slows down.
They can only fish one rod per person. They could possibly cut the line or rolling up the line.
Gonna hop back there. How's it going, guys? Any luck yet? No? How long you guys been out for?
All morning.
All morning?
Any luck in the pots, or you just don't? How big of dungeons did you guys get?
The troopers quickly spot a possible violation.
That's kind of small there.
Yeah. Mind if take a look?
The crab appear to be undersized and may be illegal. If so, the fishermen could face hundreds of dollars in fines.
Take a look.
Yep.
No, let me.
Plenty big.
Nah, you're way off.
Way off?
Yeah. Here, let me show. When you measure, see the spine right there? You measure from the inside, and you can see how big of a difference that is.
Come on, little critter. I know he's not.
He might.
See?
No, he's not good. Do you guys even have sticks on board? Sticks to measure?
He went overboard.
Then how do you know if you have legal?
Just look.
Just look?
Well, you know, we used to go from spine to spine.
But how do you know if the spine to spine is good if you don't have measuring sticks? You're just eyeballing them?
You only crab a little bit every year.
Okay.
All the years I lived here, I've never been checked.
I'll be honest with you guys. There is going to be a citation for the one small crab. I'm going to give a warning on the other. I'm not going to write 2 citations for both those crab. Okay. I think they did know what they were doing, or they just didn't care to follow the rules and regulations. Those crab, especially one of them, was obviously too small. What I suggest is go down to the store and get some crab sticks. They can't hide from us, or they try to sometimes, but it's not like ducking down a side street in a car. We'll let you guys get back to your day, all right?